Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, the Joseph. That's right, I have returned from the dead. I can survive anything. Throw a flaming, volcanic asteroid at me, and I would just I'd go like that. I thought, you see this motion right here? This is a motion of I don't give a fuck. That did nothing to me. That is what that motion means. I am that strong. I'm like the dragon. I'm like the phoenix. I get set on fire. I die because you can't live on fire. And then I rise from the ashes because I was on fire and I became ashes. I rise from those ashes, and I'm back. This is Apology Accepted. I'm not good content. And ladies and gentlemen, and all things in between, otherwise or instead, welcome to the uproarious tale of the bro president, Warren G. Harding. Straight out of Ohio. That's right, Ohio, that place. That wonderful place. Nothing bad ever happens in Ohio. That's a fucking rumor. I don't even trains. I don't what. Now, this athletic stud had the ladies swooning, and I mean it when I say they were swooning, and they gave him the nickname Adonis. Now, my buddy Maddox will tell you, Adonis was one hot Greek man. I don't know if he was necessarily, I think he was, like a god, or maybe one of the warriors like Hercules. I haven't studied Adonis. He's Greek in some way. Now, keep it together, folks. We get to the juicy bits later, I promise. Now, oh boy, young Warren was quite the charmer. He had the ladies falling head over heels. Like I said, swooning. And you can't really blame them, because this guy was the town's heartthrob. He was hot shit. The hottest of shit. Like, sometimes you take a poop, you look in there, and you're like, that's a good shit. He was that. He was good shit. He was hot shit, even. He was both of those things. But hey, when life gives you lemons, you buy a newspaper, because that's what Warren did. Warren bought a newspaper. And not just any newspaper. Warren started the most neutral, uncritical, bland paper ever seen. It was praising all the politicians that wanted to be praised. It was saying all the neutral, you're gonna say yes feelings. It's like the modern opinion poll. I don't think there was opinion polls as much back then. They still had them, but you can only get such a large demographic. Point being, this guy was a people pleaser. He really wasn't in it to do much critical. Now, there are some people he attacked in the paper occasionally because you can't always be neutral, but it was for the most part a very neutral paper. And when the newspaper started soaring up, doing really well, Warren's popularity also skyrocketed. He's a guy in a small town. He's writing a newspaper now. Everyone's reading the newspaper. It's a small town. And Warren was, he was a hot guy, and he did a good job with the paper, actually. He genuinely did a good job with the paper. To the point where often his health would go down, actually. That was more later, but we'll get to that. I'll stop my tangent here and go back to this. He even had the coolest deal with railroad companies for free rides. This guy was a bro. And it was all thanks to his paper. Talk about making connections. That's what bros do. I would know. I'm a bit of a bro myself. I'm not as bro-y as Warren, but I'm broing. I'm broing a little bit. And next we come upon the lady. The one to finally catch our man Warren and reel him in like the big fish he was. The marvelous Florence Fling. A go-getter, a grind-set woman from day one. Raised by a banker dad. You won't believe it, but Warren's uncritical paper actually hated this guy. Hated him. And Warren married his daughter. But love found a way, and those two ended up getting married. It's, it is what it is. You don't always expect these things. Now, once Florence stepped in, this is when the newspaper really started to soar. It was soaring with Warren a little bit. It was doing good. It was more local, I think, at that point. But Florence steps in, and she rocked that newspaper. She rocked it like a boss. She knew exactly how to handle Warren. She was determined to put him in charge of everything. Because, back then, as a woman, you didn't have as many opportunities. It was a hard world out there, but she was truly a hard-working, smart, intelligent individual. And apparently also probably pretty good at manipulation, because she got Warren to do everything. It was boss lady to the rescue, 110%. And go you, Florence Fling. We'll get more on why she's awesome later. But now, with Florence's guidance, And let's be honest, with her constantly bugging Warren, Warren ran for the state senate, and he actually won. Because, in all honesty, his paper was pretty uncritical, he was pretty inoffensive, and people liked him, and he was an attractive guy, and especially back then, being a good-looking dude could do you a lot of good. And it did for Warren. But let's be real here, he owed a big favor to those politicians he'd been buttering up in the newspaper. You know, he was fucking patting these guys on the back, the Ohio State Republicans. Loved them. He loved them. No bad words to say about them. Now, things took a heavy toll, a heavy load on Warren. All this fame, all this new stuff happening to him, you know, and Warren had to take a time out, you know, and I don't blame the guy, quite frankly. And he took it at a mental hospital. No shame in self-care, folks. No shame. He needed it, and he took his time off. He's a bro. A bro to the end. Even a bro that needs therapy is a bro, and he needed therapy, and he got some. Well, I say therapy. I don't know exactly what he got in the mental hospital, but point being, it helped him. Now, things took a comically wild turn when Warren let the power go to his head as a state senator. Uh-oh, bro. Not cool. Because then comes Harry D'Arte, who is utterly obsessed with Warren and his attractive looks. Maybe it was the bro charm, or perhaps he saw a future president in him. Probably because of the looks, let's be real here. Warren didn't have much to say. As Warren got older, his crew shifted from pocket buddies to influential politicians. And you guessed it, the bros scored free rides on the train. Talk about living the high life. Now, as the years went by, Warren's bro spirit didn't wane one bit. In fact, he continued to try his way up the political ladder. And guess what? He ran for president. You obviously already know that because you probably took U.S. history and know who Warren G. Harding is. You know, a Teapot Dome scandal guy. But point being, he ran for president. And just knowing his story and where he came from, that's pretty insane. And you heard me right. The bro president in the making. We got a bro in the office. He was too bro-y, admittedly, but we'll get to that. He launched the campaign with the slogan, "Return to normalcy!" Now, what's more bro-like than wanting things to be chill and normal? Am I right? I am. Don't even answer that. Don't go in the comments and say, you're not right, because I'm right. Point being, the people loved it. And just like that, Warren Harding became the 29th president of the United States of America. But listen, being president didn't stop him from being a bro. Like I said, kind of to his detriment. He did not stop broing. Oh, not at all. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the Ohio gang. Harding surrounded himself with these guys. The Ohio gang. That's, think U.S. history, that's important. A bunch of bros from his poker and golf days. They were like the entourage of a rock star, but in suits and ties. You see, Warren was never one to stress over the details. He preferred to delegate and let his bros handle things. But some may call it lazy. I like to think of it as being a true bro leader, good at, managing tasks, He was good at delegating work. That is a skill. That's a skill. I would know. I worked at Chick-fil-A. That's a lot of delegation there. Now let's talk about what this guy's known for, which I've already mentioned. The Teapot Dome scandal. It's a bit of a buzzkill, I admit, but hey, even the coolest bros can make mistakes. Some might call it just plain bad, in all ways. Not really a bro move. But hey, some of his buddies got involved in some shady deals, and Warren claimed he didn't know a thing. Bros before legal woes. Am I right? I'm there for you, Maddox. You ever need anything? I know you got some stuff going on there. Maybe someone you want to kill. I don't know. If you need me, I'm there. I'm just like Warren that way. And let's not forget his love for poker. President Harding enjoyed some poker nights in the White House. Now that's how you run a country, folks, with a little gambling on the side, huh? And what's a bro without a love for golf? Admittedly, I don't much have one, but, I'm not as bro-y as he was, so what can I hope? Harding would hit the golf course every chance he got. It was like his happy place, where he could unwind and strategize bro style, though I'll admit I don't know how much strategizing went on. Now, as with all bros, there came a time when the party must end. Sadly, President Harding passed away during his term, leaving his bro legacy behind. But fear not, for the bro president's legend lives on. His charm, his charisma, and carefree approach to leadership left a lasting impact. Mostly to not do what Warren did, admittedly, but it left an impact. And so we bid farewell to the bro president, Warren G. Harding, a true Ohio bro who charmed his way through life from small-town Adonis to the highest office in the land. Remember, history may have its ups and downs, but it all is filled with bros who leave their mark on the world. Some are less broy than others. Some are just straight up not bros. You know, American history is kind of wild, but Warren kept that bro spirit alive, my friends. Never forget the legacy of the most broy president of all time.